What's up, cool people? Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. Now, I've been wanting to start up this series, especially for winter content, for a while, and it's Roller Coaster Reacts. It's just me reacting to all kinds of roller coaster stuff, and the roller coaster atmosphere has not disappointed by any means, because there's been some crazy stuff that's happened just recently, and oh, the drama. It's been so good. So we're going to go open up some tea right now and hang out and just talk about all the drama that's happened online now that Cedar Fair has bought or has merged with Six Flags. So I hope you're ready and excited. Let's go see how much craziness happened on that day. Let's go. Okay, now first of all, right off the bat, I want to talk about something that actually is kind of cool. So Jake Coasters posted this thing that he said, okay, I actually don't hate this. By the way, also, I'm going to say, like, if it's someone, especially who's at all notable in the coaster community, I'm going to make sure that you see their name. You're going to have an idea. But anyway, check this out. So I love this. I would get this 100%. If they turn the logo into something like this, I mean, I'm going to miss the little red flag if they don't have it. So, you know, I love it. Let's do it. It's so cool looking. But I like the idea of kind of keeping the branding, but also losing the name and then having it be this more notable name. I think that's perfectly fine. But, I mean, obviously there have been a lot of people who didn't love it, but Jake Coasters liked it. I really like it too. I think I saw a couple other YouTubers that were into it also. If they're not someone who at least I think is notable anyway, then you guys will still see the name up there, and go follow these people if you want to on Twitter. Also, go check me out on Twitter at NotYourNormalG1 if you'd like to come hang out. Let's go. By the way, if you hear anything happening in this room, it's because we got V here. So she's gonna say hi to you guys. But we're just kind of vibing and talking about these things. So let's go. Now, we've got Surveillance here, who said Dick Kinsel is rolling over in his grave. And I actually, honestly, that's true. That's not really dramatic. I'm sure Dick Kinsel would not love this. And then KI Coaster Guy said, so wow, what a slow news day, huh? Okay, now here's where the drama really started. We had Tony Clark tweeted, I sense your spike of interest in this coaster. Okay, bad time, Tony. What you doing, buddy? So I had to dig deeper into this one. The Flash Stratocoaster. Can't believe you sold out to Six Flags. People are like renaming all of Cedar Point's properties now and saying that they're all going to be like DC Universe stuff, which honestly, who cares? I would love that. I'd eat that up. No problem to me. I doubt that's going to happen, especially with the more iconic rides. But honestly, the Flash as a Stratocoaster, that would be way better in my opinion than having Top Thrill 2, which is the most boring, unimaginative name I could possibly ask for. So who knows, maybe, just maybe, getting some other IP into Cedar Point would actually make for some, like, exciting names rather than some of the most boring names I've ever heard of in the last 30 years. Honestly, though, like, they didn't sell out to Six Flags. I really think Cedar Fair saw an opportunity for them to become the biggest company. And yes, like half their board of directors are Six Flags and all of that. But this was a great way for Six Flags to maintain its, like, brand recognition, but lose its stocks and still maintain a lot of people in it. But for Cedar Fair to double its stocks and to more than double its valuation overall as a company, but then just to change its name, like, to me, that kind of makes sense just totally as a company in every possible way. So here's some other names. Mr. Freeze Triple Blast, which again, kind of into it. Josh here said, I think our interests might be angled a little bit differently than today. And I mean, honestly, like I said earlier, bad idea to tweet anything about Top Thrill Dragster on the day on November 2nd. Like, that was just a bad idea Tony, I don't know why you thought, oh yeah, let's tweet something when everyone's volatile. Although maybe it drums up more engagement and gets more excitement, and who knows. Amusement Park Dad said, there's definitely a spike in interest, but right now I think Top Thrill 2 takes second place, which is true, especially at that point. It was kind of like, even for me seeing the tweet, I'm like, who cares about Top Thrill 2 right now? But right now, looking at it, I am kind of just like, well, it's incredibly unimaginative, and maybe we could get some more imagination behind the name. I think that'd be kind of fun. Chris said, we want to keep our Tony Clark CP. Now, I think Tony Clark works exclusively for Cedar Point. So I do not think there's any kind of danger in losing him at all. I do think potentially with some of the higher ups, especially like in food or things like that, we'll have to see what happens, because sometimes they share people between parks. So we'll have to see what happens as far as some of that goes, but I think Tony's job is secure. When's Kingdom Come 2 happening? Batman the Ride, don't let Six Flags ruin it. Really, Cedar Fair seems to be at the helm in this thing. They own the majority stakes, and it does seem like they're the ones really like driving this thing forward. I do think there still has to be a stockholders meeting. I think there's a very good chance this is going to happen because, like I said, I think it doubles what Cedar Fair is. This isn't about seriousness. This is about just having a laugh. Oh, well, here's Cal right now who said, shareholders say no. We have Top Thrill Superman, Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast. Cedar Point does not need Six Flags. Don't do it. The drama and the Wendy Williams meme is one of my favorite things. Taylor Bybee said, is it still history if it happened this morning? Which I think is hilarious, because to me, it doesn't seem like that historic of a thing. Like, I feel like we're pulling the whole thing out of proportion. I don't think it's that crazy. Of course, it is roller coaster history, and it will affect things that are happening coming forward. And of course, you know, we're all interested in it because we've seen stuff like this kind of happen before. But yeah, I think that's kind of funny. And then El Toro Ryan repeated that Jake Coasters meme that I saw. So then we had theme park predictions and Jake Coasters get in on like memes, but Jake Coasters went in for DC Comics / Cedar Point mashups, and I love it. So like Cedar Point's Gatekeeper, I love it. I think that some of these things could be so cool. If they could retheme things, I'm not mad about that at all. You know, I'm absolutely someone who loves any kind of lore. And if we could end up with some additional lore and some additional themed experiences at Cedar Point, I'm not mad about that even a little bit. Even if it does require changing some of the IP and like making things different, things don't have to look the same 100% of the time. As a matter of fact, part of the fun of theme parks is that they change frequently. So that's perfectly fine with me. I think it'd be really fun. So I went into the memes. We had to find out about the memes. Mystic Timbers brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do go in the shed. That makes me sad. Okay, too many things as far as like brand sponsorships and stuff like that, I think does lessen the value of the park. But I also think that's the reason why Six Flags hasn't really been valued as highly as it should be, especially in comparison to Cedar Point or Cedar Fair. So I think they're going to learn from their mistakes as far as that goes. I don't think we're going to end up having tons of brand deals and things like that inside the parks, just because I don't think it really helps anything. I don't think it's helped them, and I think they've seen that it can devalue the company instead of really helping things, just like with Cedar Point. Cedar Point came out of the pandemic and was able to move forward pretty easily. But I don't feel like that's happened as well with Six Flags. Gunnar Moose said, I don't think this merger is going to happen. I feel the government will step in, which, if you're a thuzy, it feels like this is illegal. So I can get behind that. Super Mantis. No. Some of these I've been into, but some of them definitely not. Batman the Ride for Raptor. Actually, or the Joker. Honestly, Raptor could be much more easily the Joker, but this one shows the Joker as Magnum. Elfland said the peanuts being removed is going to ruin me, and I have to give some credence to this. I feel like there's a good chance peanuts is going to be removed because there's better IP that Six Flags has. If Six Flags can do Looney Tunes stuff, and now as an extension, all these Cedar Fair parks can now do Looney Tunes stuff, that's much more relevant to our current culture and to the kids of today than Peanuts. I don't know a whole lot of kids that are like, oh yeah, I'm just absolutely a slag for Charlie Brown. You know, like, I just don't see that. So as much as I like Charlie Brown and I like to see them, and I wouldn't mind seeing some face characters in the parks where you could go meet them, like go meet Charlie Brown, go meet Snoopy, get some merchandise, stuff like that. I don't mind the idea of the kids areas being turned into Looney Tunes stuff either. I think that's a much better and more recognizable thing.
I'm one of those types of kids who loves Looney Tunes.
She perked up even with Looney Tunes. So I think a lot of kids are going to really like the idea of Looney Tunes, and that will be something that will be potentially more exciting than Charlie Brown. There's so many Superman memes, though. I'm kind of tired of people saying everything is Superman. Because it's just like that's the one IP where they're like, Superman, and this is going to be Superman, and that's going to be Superman, and this one's going to be Batman, and that one's going to be Superman, and it's just, it's too much. Now, I really liked this tweet right here. Can we calm down a bit, guys? There are 590 amusement parks in the U.S., 14 Six Flags parks, 13 Cedar Fair parks. 27 out of 590 is not a monopoly. And I do agree with that. I do think there's no other larger coalitions of theme parks. I'd actually kind of love to see some smaller group come in and actually kind of take over a whole bunch of different small parks. But it would be nice to see something that could compete a bit more with Cedar Fair as a larger conglomeration of theme parks. And then you've got this loser that made a whole video about Six Flags destroying Cedar Point. Oh wait, look. Oh, that was me. Never mind. He's not a loser. He's just not your normal guy. Go check him out on YouTube. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out today and for just having a laugh with me. Obviously, none of us is without guilt on some of this. And even if I made fun of you, it's not because I'm actually making fun of you. I just wanted to go have a little bit of laugh at everything that we did and kind of encapsulate what that day was like for us on the 2nd. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Press that subscribe button if you haven't, and press that like button today if you've enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and let's go! Hey, thanks for watching. I release theme park related videos at least a couple times a week, so press that subscribe button if you made it this far. Also, check out similar videos in the playlist to the right or find my newest video to the left. Thanks again, and let's go!